next year, what we're actually going to be announcing over the summer is, and as part of the expression of interest forms for Clubs and Societies Day, is that there's going to be a $150 grant for CNS Day activities. So in other words, that's to be held purely on like creating an interactive event. So things like food, beverages, merch or promotional material won't be covered, but things, I mean, Bron, is that pretty well covered?
Yeah, so anything, any materials, anything that you can think of that you're going to need to run an activity on the day. So like, say if you want to pot plants, you need to buy the soil, pots, whatever. You can apply for the grant for this. Yes, but anything that you would use as a promotional item that would come with your membership deals, we won't cover those, and we won't cover food and beverages, as Liam said. Or prizes. We won't cover prizes either because that's actually not funded under staff. Yeah, fun things to attract people to your stall and just make the day.
Obviously, across all three campuses, we operate the events in quite huge spaces. So we're keen to get more and more clubs actually not just standing behind your stall and waiting for students to come talk to you, but to get out and to actually interact with the students and encourage students to come to you.
Also, if you attend more than one of the Clubs and Societies Day, so if you go to Hobart and Launceston, you can get that grant for $150 for each location that you go to.
And similarly for Clubs and Societies travelling between campuses, there will be travel grants. The amounts haven't been finalised yet, but there will be ability to be able to get travel grants to go between campuses for Launceston and Burnie and Hobart. For clubs travelling down or going up, either way. That cover that one pretty well?
Yeah, so that can cover accommodation and fuel or travel costs, bus fare, whatever you decide to do. Yeah. But it will be capped. Yeah.
And the biggest thing about that, obviously, it wouldn't be nice having to spend all that money as a society, but then not finding out to the 18th of March as to whether you're successful. So those for CNS Day, for travel and for events, that will all be done by email between you and, I mean, it'll most likely be Bron. So you will know if you get the money or not before you spend it. So you don't have to go spend the money and then essentially be out $150 without knowing if you're going to get the money back.
Correct.
So yeah, those dates are there's always a little bit of flexibility. There's always a little bit of emailing going on backwards and forwards. So just reach out to us pretty much all year round, except for now. Because for those that haven't submitted their grant claims yet, they close Friday, Bron?
Yes, Friday, or you're losing money. Unless you've spoken to me about it before, or you have events that are actually held after Friday. Again, just talk to me.
So as I mentioned earlier, obviously, Clubs and Societies grants comes through SAF funding. SAF funding is federally legislated, and the government actually tells us, they give us a list of 18 things that it is allowed to be spent on. And I mean, by far, the biggest no-no in terms of when it comes to spending on SAF is alcohol. So we are never going to be buying you alcohol with SAF money or with Clubs and Societies grants money, unfortunately. That will always have to come out of Clubs and Societies' own costs. But other things will be supplying food and beverages for AGMs. Similarly with balls, we don't do food for balls, considering we're already covering security, entertainment, decorations, venue hire. We think it's fair enough that students pay for their own food.
Yeah, you have to allow for that in the pricing of your tickets to those events.
Things like prizes is also a big no-no under SAF legislation. Yeah, so you can't spend it on prizes for individual club and society events. Gambling, of course, the government says no to that. Gifts, tobacco, yeah, you kind of see all these things all the way down. Any other big no-nos, Ingrid, from?
That pretty much covers it. Just the gifts one, just I know that if people have so run an event where you have someone come and talk to people, we can't cover it if you want to give them a gift. That's what that gift comes into. So gifts for speakers or those sorts of things, anybody that helps you with your events.
Yep. Or souvenirs as well.
Or souvenirs.
Yeah.
And another big one for a lot of clubs, I mean, like the academic clubs, we do inter-college sport, like I know law, engineering, who else does? A couple of the other clubs get involved as well, and they get uniforms for those events. We will help clubs with uniforms, but as soon as you personalize it, then we can't. because the idea is it has to be, they have to be property of the club and not personal. So obviously, if you doing HMA do football, if you were doing football and then all of a sudden you put everyone's names on the back of it, that's when obviously we can't fund it, because the students are just going to take those jumpers home because no one else can really use them. So if you're going to do sports and different events and stuff, obviously as soon as it becomes personalized, then it becomes non-sappable, non-fundable. Anything else? Already gone through this.
Okay, so how the grant committee assess the grant application. So the best thing you can do is put as much information as you can in that grant application without meaning that I have to read pages and pages of words. The budget is a big thing. You really need to put in and try and estimate whatever you're going to spend on all the things, because we'll get in there and we'll have a look at that budget, and that will be the basis on what we decide on how much money we're going to give you. So make that as clear as possible. So we need to know any income that you're getting from that activity or any other external funding that you may have got or be expecting. And whatever items you are going to need to spend money on, you have that all listed out clearly and realistically. Be realistic, but at the same time, in being realistic, aim high. So, you know, we can always, you know, bring it down, but I don't know, I think going for the sky a bit. We'll look at it and go, yeah, nah. And we'll yeah, break it down a bit more. Yes, so we won't fund activities held in private homes. So it needs to be a venue, a venue or on campus, basically. So we got up there.
One of the things in terms of venue hire, in terms of covering venue hire, if you're getting your venue to do your invoices, get them to itemize it so we can pick and choose things. If they just block everything together and it's including food and stuff, then all of a sudden we can't do it. So get them to include details and to separate it out for you so we can actually chip in where we can.
So if they're covering, if they're providing security, the dance floor, the actual hire of the venue itself, some people will roll that into the cost of the food and beverage. But it really helps us if we can see exactly how much you're spending on venue hire, so then we know how much we can give you, because we will look at them and we will pick and choose and try and get that to add up to the grant cap we can give you.
I think the biggest thing for grant committee meetings, I've sat on them for 2 years now. We generally go through every application and look for as much money we can give you as possible. We go through the grant, we go through the budget, we go through the invoices. We're like, okay, we can SAF fund this, 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 and this. A lot of the time we're trying to give clubs more money than they've been asked for. It's where we're not giving clubs the full amount is where there's just not enough SAFable things within the items.
Yeah, you haven't clearly shown what we can actually give you money for. We really want to give you money. We really, really want to give you money and support your events to be, as big as and good as they can be, and help you keep and attract your members to your clubs.
And the other big thing before money is ever paid out is risk assessments. Chris.
Yes.
We're going to talk about risk.
Yeah, we'll do that next.
There is the risk assessment session, but for every activity you hold, activity or event, you have to have a risk assessment. So that is one of the criteria of being eligible for the funding. So I'll go through, when I'm doing the agenda, I'll go through in this, I'll tick off all the criteria for the grant committee to know whether you've actually submitted an event application and a risk assessment for that event, whether it's in progress and whether it's been approved or not approved, and that will affect whether you get the funds or not.
Plus the 51%.
We've already got that.
Yeah.
Plus all those other criteria that we talked to before.
Gold coin, like financial sustainability.
What's that?
The gold coin, like making sure that they at least.
Oh yeah, we encourage you to like not make every event a free event. So we do encourage, we want to see you be financially sustainable within your society. So that comes in with your membership fees that you charge. And also, if you don't think you can charge an amount for a ticket price for your event or activity, at least put out a box or something where people can contribute a gold coin donation at the minimum. So just some sort of ask. So that shows us that you're trying to be financially sustainable and not just relying on grants.
Really just
So as we spoke about before, the grant committee dates, which you can find in the handbook.
examples.